Hello? Is it working now? That was sad. I don't know why it didn't remember my mic. That's so annoying. That was a lot of talking that's just gone. So to recap, should be a pretty even game. 11 versus 11. College starts. There's the four AV7 without block against all AV7 essentially should be a pretty even game, but Kaz dice can make it go either way. Claw helps the Norse come back, and the Frenzy helps get those extra hits that are really nice. And also, the Norse just have more movement overall, besides the Centaurs. Thank you for telling me that, because that would have been miserable to realize I'd had like an hour of talking that was just muted. Okay, I'm not... Okay. Right out of the game, for Zycon Gold, you don't really want to use your big guy as your first activation, especially one that doesn't have block. If they have block, it's a lot more excusable. If they've got a 3-die with block, it's, I think, absolutely great. Because that has less chance of turnover than a 2-die with a reroll, I think. Maybe? But I don't hate taking the Yeti block from the line of scrimmage. You just really want to wait and take it later. And this is a whoopsies. You want to set up your frenzy hits a little bit safer. So if you had your berserker here and you hit the blocker this way, boom, boom, you would have still had an assist. It would have been 2-die into 2-die. Or if you set up closer to the Yeti, that sort of thing. But this is definitely looking very first game of college-like. So this is pretty standard little whoopsies. No big deal. Easy to fix mistakes. Okay. Not huge on this. That's a 1-die. So I would recommend for Zycon Gold to learn how assists work. If you have a piece marking only one of your opponent's players, they give an assist. So here, this Chorf is marking one Norseman. So the Norseman basically has a penalty on their hit die. It's a very, very bold set of actions. I would also recommend basic turn ordering. We go over turn ordering a lot here. You generally want to take your free actions, so your movements that don't require dice rolls. Then your necessary actions, like your safe actions, like 2 dies with block, that sort of thing. Wrestle hits on 2 dice, 3D hits on big guys, maybe. And then you want to take your important actions, so getting the ball safe, blitzing things that are threatening to score, that sort of thing. And then you go for your greed actions. So that would be your blitz of a 1-die into 1-die, or a 3+ dodge on an unimportant piece, that sort of thing. I would say those were decent blocks from the Chorps. One thing I will say is you generally want to try to keep at least one Bull Centaur free, because that is most of your movement. And another thing we're seeing from both players is you're getting very base happy. Basing just being when you put your player in contact with a standing player on the opponent's side. So a great way to think about basing is this. Every turn after the line of scrimmage is done, both teams get one blitz every turn and only get to hit one player. Every time you put a player into base contact with your opponent, that gives up a potential one more hit. And hits are one of those things. The more hits you get up, the more removals you have. The more removals you have, the less you can do. So whenever you can accomplish something without basing, you would rather not base. There are times where you have to base in order to accomplish something. Like let's say it's turn 7, you want to stop your opponent from scoring. That's when you move everything into base contact. But you really want to try and avoid early in the drive basing. Because right now we've got a bunch of stuff base here, and this Yeti could hit this off, and we get 1 extra hit, 2 extra hits. We can somehow make this manageable, get 3 extra hits. Yep, and that is what we're seeing. And when things go on the ground, it gets harder and harder to deal with your opponent, especially as a slow team like Chorfs. Now, it gets a little more complex once you start getting some skills, getting some guard. But right now, as Fresh, you want to avoid basing when you can, and instead, you want to be screening off. So that's just having 2 spaces between your players and having their tackle zones kind of like cover each other. I'll demonstrate that where I can see it. So like this right here, this is a tight screen. We got a player gap player. So their tackle zones are overlapping. So it's harder to dodge through there. But most of the time, you want a player, tackle zone player. And that'll be your basic screen. And screens are a lot like Lego bricks. You combine them, overlap them into whatever shape you need them to be. Let's see. Alright, and the Norths are all based up on you, so you get your hits. Okay. Good, good. I like that, That's very sneaky. Get your extra hit, then you bring in an assist. Good. Could have also hit the Berserker if you wanted. Ooh, fouling the Yeti. I don't hate that foul. I don't hate it. Because that is a 7+ foul. 7+ is about the break-even point. Ideally, though, you want to get a 6+. 5+ is a little bit better than 6+, but not by much. Like, it's minuscule difference. Because I think a 6+ foul is a 6+ foul. I don't know the numbers. I know with Dirty Player, like a 5+ foul is an 80, is like a 5 and 6 to break armor. The Yeti standing up is unfortunate. They succeeded on the 4+. Okay. So let's take stock of this situation. Let's see what we can actually do. Bull Centaur is technically in range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what I'm probably considering is a 4+ dodge, because a 4+ with a reroll is a 75% chance. And then you've got your sprint sure feet to most likely be able to get this blitz off. So I think that's what I would be setting up for. So I would be picking things up and getting things ready for that play. See, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can't actually make it, so that's a little sad. Yeah, I think you're just preparing to blitz that with the Bull Centaur. And this is the moment where you would want to base, because you want to prevent them from getting a lot of things to go help. I like this hit. This is a good hit. Because that's a nice safe action before you go and do your other stuff. I'm not a fan of that if you saw this line. If you didn't see this line, that play is fine. Oh, that's the same play. That's the same play. That's a 4+ into the GFI. That's fine. Like, that was a good play. It just didn't pan out. You took the 75% you needed to. Okay. Now, before anything else, the North should have moved this further away from the opposition. Because this should be punished. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I would move this and at least move this first. Don't take hits until you get your movement in. Do your turn ordering. Okay. I'd rather hit the ball there. If we do force a 3+ dodge, and this actually does force the score, if nothing else. And forcing the score, giving yourself 4 turns to score back, that's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. I take it back. This is fine. And if the Norse fail the dodge, you're in a real fun spot. Okay, but that's fine. You force the Norse to score quickly. You have 4 turns to score back as Chorf. A little bit difficult, just because your team is so slow. You don't have the skills that make that easier yet. But the Norse are down a player. You have a full team. So you just want to keep taking your hits, get the ball, and try to get some position on the field. You'll have a 1-1 game, usually at this point, if you can do things properly. And then you'll go into your own offense and complete a touchdown in an 8-turn drive, and that's the standard 2-1 win. So this is actually done very well. Like, so far, this is good. This has been very good from the Chorfs. And the Norse haven't been bad. They've just been very unrefined, very forcing a score. Like, the Norse didn't really have to force anything. They had plenty of time to score. They could have also just been fishing for some removals. So let's see. And this is setting up for a quick snap. So let this go for a second. So now get the quick snap. But right here, the Norse made a error. This is either an error or a calculated risk, but since it's a new player, I'm going to assume it was an error. Generally, on defense, you do not want to set up on this second line. You don't want to set up here because of a quick snap. If a quick snap happens and your opponent has set up for it, then this can step forward, this can step forward, this can step forward, this can step forward, and we get extra hits. So normally you're giving up 3 line of scrimmage hits because it's unavoidable. But if you set up like this, you've potentially given up 4 additional hits, and that's enough to snowball an entire game. Sometimes you set up super aggressively because you kind of need to, or you have a massive strength advantage. Here, I don't think that is the case. I'm not a fan of the follow-up. So that's getting rid of your assist on the Yeti. Unless you're hitting this next. And okay. I think that's what's happening. I think you're coming in hitting this. A bit strange. Right now, I think you've given up a lot of your advantage from these line of scrimmage hits. You really want to be making progress down the field. You want to keep your players spread out so the Norse can't get past you and threaten the ball. Because you really need to make progress down the pitch rather than forcing these hits. And I think the way you get a better hit on this is you just hit this Berserker with your blitz rather than this other Berserker. That's fine. Norse are slowing down the Chorfs, but they're going to give up a lot of hits to do so. And the Chaos Dwarves just got to keep taking their hits. Okay, 2 die, 1 die. It's fine. Okay. And both of these players are really basing all their pieces and giving themselves fewer options at the start of their turn. They're giving up a lot of hits, and it's a surprising one removal game right now. Okay, and we're getting into a standard cage, it looks like. That's just unfortunate. Oh, I guess I should have done that. Something happened immediately. So Yeti Blitz, and this is why you use the Yeti later in the turn. He's got Loner, he's not consistent with rerolls, and sometimes you want a 9. Okay. And this is getting someone in scoring range, because if you don't have someone in scoring range, you can't score. Good. So that's mostly... This is fine. It's gonna be hard to give them the ball at this point, though. So far up. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Ball's pretty exposed. It is a 3+ with a reroll to get dice on the ball. Badly hurt. Berserker. That's, just keep getting your removals. That's good. AV7 breaks. You are in range to score on a double GFI. That's fantastic. But this is going to get the hit. Goes here, out of scoring range. And definitely out of scoring range. So now we've got a plan for the handoff. That was a whoopsies. It's very bad whoopsies. You forgot about this assist. If you brought him here to cancel the assist, you would have been fine. As it stands, this is a really tough position to be in now. And that was a good attempt. Just a lot of tiny mistakes that are easy to fix. Just double check your assist and that sort of thing. And I really recommend, whenever you're going for a block, be very careful to double check how many dice it's going to give you. Especially if you're going to have to move players. Don't recount your strengths and your assists, that sort of thing. Then this setup is a little prone to... I know, this is still taking advantage of the quick snap, so this is fine. I would not follow up when you're trying to set up a block on a big guy. Just a little error there. Because if you notice what happened in the last drive, all your players got stuck. Okay. Keeping the centaur free. Then this is a 2-die. Good. If you hit with this corner, you get another chance at it, though. It's a very good hit. It's okay. The Yeti was useless. He didn't have any SVP. This is an unfortunate death early in a season. Happens, though. So Norse are down 3 players. Chorf should be able to plonk this one in. Yeah, it's a free bribe. Yeah, that's a way to look at it. Look, now all your players have block. Oh. Not the way most Norse players like to have block on the whole team. Okay. It's good block ordering. It's unfortunate. As it stands, there's a way into your ball. I think that mostly fixes it, though. And it gives you more hits. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, that's mostly fine. See very negligible problems here. Double GFI 1-die on the ball. Fails. Alright, now. When your opponent has players behind you, I like to take advantage of that by walking through the other players. Especially, the Norse are down 3 players already. They have 2 more behind you. If you manage to push through, make a hole, and cage up here, the Norse are basically down 5 players with these 2 all the way back here. So I actually... Ooh, no. Don't do that. No. The ball is already safe. You don't have to hand off the ball. What you do... Let's go back and let's show you what you actually do with this turn, because you wasted a massive opportunity. So we're going to have to talk about this. You don't want to hand off to this Bull Centaur. At least not right now. You can do it once you get the ball safe near the end zone. But before that, you've got other stuff you need to do. Like, step 1 is get the ball safe regardless of you succeed on the handoff or not. And how we do that is we just move the ball. So, let's get out our pen tool here. Like, we can bring this assist up here, get this punch, and then just walk up into the center spot after we take care of a thing or two. It's like, let's see. There's not really much to stop us. Like, the main thing that would stop us would be right here. We've got punches over here to take. So what I'm looking at is something like, bring this assist here, bring this assist here, get these 2 punches. Actually, you want to take this one first. So let's take this nice and slow. Bring assist. Take a hit. If it's a knockdown, you follow. If it's not a knockdown, you stay. If it's a knockdown and you follow, you get your hit here. Boom. So I would have these like 4 players ready to go take this hit. So then what can we do on the other side? Well, on the other side, we can either blitz with the Bull Centaur, we can walk up with the blockers, but I kind of like bring you up, take this 2-die hit, and then we can bring you up this way after blitzing. No. Rephrase this. Blitz this. Hope for a knockdown. If it's a knockdown, great. Then you can bring this Bull Centaur up over here. We can make a cage right here with all these players having moved like this. So our cage would end up looking something like boom, boom, boom. Hey, Glava, how's it going? It's okay. I was 15 minutes late myself. You haven't missed as much as you normally would. You end up something like this, with the ball inside. Then you foul this man, break armor, and he's either out of the game or at least stunned, is the idea. That's one way to think about it. I like to just think about it. You want an unbased cage. Things on the ground are fine to base next to, as long as they don't have jump up. But yeah, I would want the cage right there, and just foul the person on the ground, because low armor, 3 assists, that's like a 90% foul or something crazy like that. But this handoff was not good. Not good. It can be that wouldn't work for me though. I think it's harder to visualize the 5x5 myself. It's one of those, you give people lots of different ways to think of it, and they can use whichever one they like. Okay. So now we gotta recover the ball. Dwarfs no longer have a reroll. Yep, should have stood up before going for the ball. But in general, the North should not have the ball at all this turn. The Chaos Dwarves should not have tried to hand off to the Bull Centaur. There's no need to take that 75%. No need to run past your opponent. Just keep the ball safe in a cage against a fewer Norsemen. We're watching from the Chaos Dwarf perspective at the moment, but I'm giving advice in general because I believe this was a college game. Okay, those hits were fine. Again, both of them are really base happy. Five plus pass, that's wild. Like the Blitz. Blitz is good. If I had a reroll, it's a little risky, though. Yep. Bring players back to protect the ball. Take your hits, good. Don't pick up the ball yet. Oh, ooh, not a fan of that. Not a fan of that. I would rather take those blocks first, I think. Unmark him. Unmark him. You're giving up more hits. And tying up your own players. Yep. Bring this centaur over. Yep, I would have brought this centaur over before doing that. So I want this like right here maybe. And that would have prevented this blitz if the dodges worked. Alright, that's good. That's good. Now, you want to get the ball moving. You need to make progress. Don't take this hit. Take your hits with blocks, sure. Mark that, that's fine. Move this ball right up here. Yeah, move this over here. Block off that pathway. That's fine. That's fine. No, you don't want to give this. You don't want to give this dodge. It's super easy. 3 pluses are not as scary as they appear. So that's just a 1-die dodge. That's a dodge into 2 dies. Dodge. Wild gameplay. You don't need to take these hits yet. Feeling better how? If you mean about Blood Bowl, no, I'm still miserable. I didn't even stream my last match. It's the first time in 2 years. If you mean my my lungs, yeah, those are doing fine. Oh. Okay. This is good. This is good. This is an opportunity to score. Yeah, I actually have a new inhaler again. Because of my asthma. Yeah, lots of passing. Lots of passing. This whole play is a little shenanigans. I don't have much commentary. I do have one thing to point out, though. Is right here, you can get this goblin into scoring range. So what you do, there's a funny little thing called chain pushes. Chain pushes happen whenever you try to hit an opponent into 3 occupied squares. So right here, if you bring this chorf right here, you make a funny little T shape. And what happens is, you take this hit, goes boom, boom, boom. All 3 of those squares are occupied, so you had to push somebody. So, what happens is, you choose the square your ball carrier's in, push him up, or up. He's now within scoring range with double GFI. And then from there, you can either still attempt to free up this hobgoblin, or try and give this one an easier pathway to the ball. So you could attempt to blitz right here, that sort of thing. Even start with a cross. Yes. There is, in fact, a double chain push. Double chain pushes get tricky, though. I don't expect the college players to get those immediately. But there's a lot of players here. There's a lot of chain pushes. There's plenty of ways to move the ball a couple squares. And without a reroll, it's pretty helpful. So you could potentially even get it down to 1 GFI. But there's just so much to deal with here. So you just gotta look out for what you're doing. But that was not a terrible game for college. Lots of little mistakes from both teams, but lots of easy to fix mistakes. Just like simple turn ordering, simple counting your assist, knowing that you're not in a rush on your drives to score. You don't have to expose your ball carrier. But yeah, name of the game, turn ordering. Turn ordering. For both players there. Alright, let's look at our other game. Alright, it looks like we got some orcs, I saw. Versus some more Chaos Dwarves. Alright, so we got Bopnot versus Super Mega Bro. I believe this was sent in by Mega Bro? I believe. So yeah, I think we're looking from the orc perspective mainly. Not huge on that follow. Because that's just like a red dice you can take with the Chorf at the end of the drive. You can also probably make it better. That makes it fine. That makes it fine. You're taking the hit anyways. It's a very interesting team we got here. 2 goblins? Are we full caging already? Okay, so first lesson. You don't need to full cage when your ball's not in danger with a screen. Caging is what you do when you're forced to. Whenever you can get away with a screen, it's just much better. Because, like right here, really don't have to cage this up. Let's keep some black orcs here. Let's put a blitzer here. Let's put this blitzer like right here. That's pretty hard to get through, especially as a Chorf team. There's not really much dodging they can do. Ball's way far back. Even if they somehow get a hit on the ball or base the ball, you can recover from that. You can blitz off the baser. You can pick up the ball yourself. I don't think that you have to cage, because right now, this cage, you're just giving up a lot of the pitch, right? So right now, when you full cage this, you're going to control this section of the pitch, and the Chorfs are going to have access to everything else. And they can trap you in, slow you down, and push you towards the sideline. And once you get stuck on the sideline, especially as a slow team like Orcs, it's really hard to progress further. And eventually they're going to try and open up surf opportunities, force you to make risky plays, that sort of thing. Also, I see you have 4 rerolls? It's a lot of rerolls for an Orc team. I think most, if not all, Orc teams should be running 3 rerolls. Because if you're blowing through 4 rerolls consistently, plus the ones you get from kickoff events, you probably need to work on your turn ordering. But if you like 4 rerolls, you do you. Okay, this is a good foul. Assuming Bob now has a bribe, right? Oh, bribe failed. Okay. So Orcs should be in a good spot here. Happens. It's fine. Were you gonna take a hit with the troll? What? As your first action? No, 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 no. You don't want to do that, especially on 2 dice, especially when your troll doesn't have block. It's wild. So right now, our movement is really restricted already. We've given up a lot of ground to the Chaos Dwarves, and they're allowed to just take whatever hit they want, really. And I think this goblin, for example, this goblin's gonna get whacked. And this is gonna become a mosh pit. And you're not gonna be able to get free. You're gonna get base. You're gonna get screened off. Your orcs are not gonna be able to make progress for several turns unless you claim some space yourself, like blitzing through the side and screening off. Okay, and Bobnon had strong control of the center. You have a hard time going around the sides, but probably look to hitting this and opening up this left side a little bit. That hit's a little more understandable. That was a 3-die. Okay, and I like taking the mighty blow, piling on hits. Could have rerolled that when you have 5 rerolls still. Go for a little bit of the aggressive attrition, because I don't think you have much else this turn that's going to happen. And slow and steady is fine. In a couple turns, though, you really got to bump up the pace of your space grabbing. Okay. I think it's the troll a little isolated. That's fine. The troll's job is to be a pillar and get punched a lot. Soaked up a blitz. It's really good. Okay, Bobnod's taking control over the left side of the pitch. You can start leaning back towards the right a little bit. You've got several hits to do so. Probably would have rerolled one of these hits with the killer. Especially with 5 rerolls, you really should have rerolled the hit with the killer. 'Cause now you're not even going to get to use all your rerolls. And if you were concerned about failing another roll when you were going for the killer hit, after the killer hit, you should have done the killer hit later in the turn. Okay, and that is a surf. Now with all these players stuck over here, I really want to see a breakaway to the right. You've only got 4 turns left and your team's kind of slow. Okay, and I don't like the early hits on the troll. It's just inviting sadness from 1 and 9s. And instead of taking blitzes over here, I'd like to see progress down the right side of the pitch. And we could dodge off instead, rather than taking the hits. And here we see, you remember how earlier I talked about you were going to get pushed into the side and make it hard to break through? Here you are all the way committed to the side. I expect this to be fouled. Or, ball to be hit, because you had a base cage. Yep. Gotta be aware of the base cage. This is all the Chaos Dwarves need. They don't need to score off of you. They just need to stop your score and go for the 1-0. And they get to save their wizard? Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know if there's an easy way to recover from this situation. The solution is you just gotta play more open until you're forced to cage earlier. And that gives you more options by this point in the game. And you also needed to not commit to the left side when you had 2 players stuck and so many rerolls. And also, you just need to use your rerolls to do something. Especially when you have so many. Like, that's fine. That's like, you were gonna turn over anyways, because you failed the pickup, so you go for the catch reroll. It's whatever. The main thing, though, is, like, especially with a Mighty Blow piling on player, it's actually pretty nice with so many rerolls to greed reroll some hits. So take the blitz later in the turn if you don't need it to open up a pathway, and try to really double down on that attrition. Because especially when you have so many players, you really want to be, like, you know, play into that. Get your piling on hits. Get your Goblin to take fouls aggressively on good players. That sort of thing. And especially, like, if you can expose these Hobgoblins, 87 versus Palm is pretty sad for the 87 pieces. Because, like, what's the odds of removal with AV7 Palm? Let me pull up my calculator. We'll just let the game run while I'm doing this. So, AV7, Mighty Blow piling on. Boom, that's an 82% break if you're piling on every time. And a 60% removal. With a reroll. Well, yeah, it's a 60% removal and a successful knockdown. So when you reroll the hit, it's pretty good. Okay, and we have no one in scoring range outside of using chain pushes. Bobnot is getting into scoring range. So now the Orcs have to decide their plan of attack. Are they going to prevent a score or try and find a chain push shenanigans? Which I think the chain push shenanigans is now gone. Yeah, so we've got to blitz this. We've got to knock down or base whatever else is able to score. I don't think there currently is anything. And I am making a pizza today. I am excited. I love making pizza. But I don't like smelling the dough for 15 hours while it rises and stuff. Because it smells delicious and it makes me hungry. That wasn't the blitz, was it? Shouldn't have been. So this is the blitz. This is the only player that can score. I feel like that was a misplay. We had other players that could do stuff before that. But that was also a 1 in 81. That's not like massive misplay. I just think that we could have gotten assists or taken a hit this way. Would have been the same result though. 1 in 81. But this probably is not a score for the Chorfs, I don't believe. They do have the option. But it's going to be a 5+ handoff or a ridiculous pass. So this is most fun. Blitzes through. Goes into the end zone. And we see a silly pass. Okay. Pick up. Run as far as you can. Hey, might grab. 5 + 4 balls? And it's the expected result, but that got dangerously close. How you doing, my friend? So now we're coming into the second half, still with a 3-player bench. I really think that this Goblin should be fouling aggressively if you have a 3-player bench. Hey, Bubnut. Were you the one to send in the replay, or was that a Super Mega Bro? Ooh, that's neat. Would be neater if you won. I'm just, just saying. No. Losing quarterfinals is pretty good. Nice standard line of scrimmage hits. I don't think you needed to wizard, as far as I can tell yet. Like, I think your opponent didn't really give you a opportunity where you had to. But that being said, you could have thrown it down on a cage, but you already had a based hit into a blitz on the ball. So I don't think you needed to wizard yet, from what I've seen. And the Orc player is very base happy. Okay, just kind of hide the ball backwards. Playing safety in case something silly happens. That's what it looks like. Well, yeah, but the thing about the wizard is, in theory, it forces your opponent to play around it, but the orcs just, like, cage turn 1 against a wizard. But you didn't have to wizard because you could just surround them and force them into the side, which you did, and I called that from turn 1. Because I think, especially in these slow team versus slow team matchups, the wizard's more of a delaying tool rather than a turnover and pick up the ball tool. So I like to, generally, I would use it like turn 6, 5, 6, 7, something like that, to open up either a hit on the ball or knock the ball down itself with a fireball, or, you know, lightning bolt the ball carrier, prevent them from scoring, that sort of thing. So it's definitely a great insurance. And the only thing I can see is you might have a way of using it to make the score easier. And then you just, you know, go 1-0 up, win that way. Don't know. But, like, let's see. Rewind it a little bit. The only real turn that I saw that would have been great for it is anytime you've already got a play on the ball, the wizard makes it a better play on the ball. So, here on turn 5, instead of breaking the cage first, you could have just thrown down a fireball. See what gets knocked down and have an easier play on it. That sort of thing. Because that's, you know, five-man fireball, that sort of thing. But other than that, like, unless you really wanted, like, you could have gone early. You could have used it here. This would have been fine. Turn 4. Use a fireball. Turn 3. Use a fireball in the cage. Honestly, you could have used it any turn and I would have understood it. Because really, I think throwing a fireball down on 5 players is great. Especially when you've got players in range to retrieve the ball, but at the same time, your opponent never really had a chance to break through. And also, you're not an elf team, so lightning bolts are kind of less appealing when your opponent's in a cage. But if you were like an elf team, like let's say you have war dancers. Oh yeah, and I think that's fine. I don't think it was bad to hold on to the wizard at that point. Turn 5, when he had a based cage on you, I think that's late enough in the drive, and you were in such a good position that you could have just saved it. Yep. I agree with that. If you went for a quick score into a defense with a wizard again, because the wizard usually buys you a turn or 2 on defense. Hitting the wrong button. But now, like, the best game to have a wizard is one where you never had to use the wizard. Like, I don't think not getting to use the wizard makes it a wasted inducement. I think you having it is 150 well spent. Like, the only thing about the wizard here is that if you used it, it could have been better. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You were trying to level up Trowel, and yeah. Reading the SPP. Fair enough. I would have moved the person catching the ball first, though. And Mega Bro is very aggressive with hits, but also not using the rerolls. 6 turns, 5 rerolls. Yeah, that's fair. I just would have rather had the ball safe over here or something. But it's kind of like a non-issue either way. I think the ball was pretty hard for your opponent to mess with. Okay. This is a surf. Nice. That is a man advantage. Good job. Actually, no, it's not. That's just now equal because your dirty player went out on the very first foul with a bribe, which was very unfortunate. Going pretty heavy about the Bull Centaur, which I think is fine. I think they should actually just foul it as well. Do you have 12? Oh, I must have missed that. My bad. Do you have 4 hops? 1, 2, 3. Am I blind? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Where am I missing a hobgoblin? Which one of these players is a hobgoblin? No, wait. It's... No, it's 3 hobgoblins to bring you to 11. Never mind. Because there's 2 bull centaurs. Yeah. I'm doing bad math. But I'm doing bad math quickly, so I can do more bad math. Okay. It's a good hit. I hope you're not bringing the ball over here. That's a little risky right now. Just leave it like right here. Back here somewhere. I'm not huge on that. So that's not a difficult 1-die. I think that's the correct course of action as well. Though back here's a little wonky too. Because this stuff is base gets bonked down. Maybe that was right. You could just lightning bolt this piece and get the ball safe. Ah, you're trying to hand off to the bull. That's fair. A little enthusiastic. Actually, before anything else, let's play my favorite game of Is This a Surf? Right? Blitz. Chain push. Now what? Chain push. Hit with the ball carrier. Push it out after we get somebody over here. Technically, there is a surf on the killer. So that's not what you did. You failed me. Ooh. Maybe. Yes! I'm so happy. Nothing else matters. You've played a perfect game. Oh. I'm very excited. Yeah, and these are good hits. And honestly, like, you still have the wizard, you still have a way through, no matter what. Yeah, and that surf honestly just takes away a lot of pressure. Because that piece was annoying. The black orc is now on the line, on the sideline. In tackle zones, hard for it to do anything. The play for the orcs might unironically be 5+ dodge into 2 die. Five plus dodge with a reroll is what? What are the odds of 5 plus with a reroll? Like 50-50? And that's what it was being gone for. Cause yeah. Yep, I think that was right. I think it was right. Cause that's what? 2/3 to fail. Squared. 4 and 9 to fail. So a little better than 50-50 actually on the 5 plus with the reroll. Rerolls are so good. Okay, and now here I would just use your wizard to either have insurance or to BM lightning bolt something. But using it against a pitch invasion, using it against a riot, both very good options. Maybe not a pitch invasion. Pitch invasion you don't care about, but it's good insurance against the riot still. You go ahead and you score, and then as long as if there's no riot, no problem. There is a riot, you've got the wizard. Oh. Well, this is also a incorrect 1-turn setup, because when you're 1-turning with a throw teammate, you want to have the ball carrier on the line of scrimmage, and you want to step in front of them, and that gives you an extra tile of movement. Oh wait, it also didn't matter because you went for the pass, and you can't throw teammate and pass on the same turn. Right. But I think that does us for today. I do not have any more games. So we're gonna raid Rick Reckless. I just saw him on my list. And I'm gonna hop off, make some pizza, and then do a recap later. So, thank you all for tuning in, and you all have a good one.